it's Sandy Missouri from Balloon Utopia. We are here on a job site today doing a 50s theme event, and I'm going to show you how to make a 50s themed arch. Now, we are using the arrow pole today, and this time I haven't put it together so you can watch me start to finish, do the whole thing. If you're making your own arch, if you don't have an arrow pole, go to find my How to Make an Arch Frame video, and it will show you how you can construct your own arch using the gray PVC from the plumbing department, okay, the one that has the little bells. But even though I can make my own arches, most of the time I do use my arrow pole because it's just really convenient. It comes in these 5-foot sections. They are not paying me to do this, to tell you about it. They really should, but they're not. I actually paid full price for all 3 of my arrow poles. Anyways, each of these is 5 feet. We put them together, we have a beautiful 25-foot arch that kind of acts like it's a helium arch, even though it's an air-filled arch. All right, so to start with, I'm going to use the one that has a female on both ends as my center, and I've also reinforced the ones that are going to be my ends that go on the pins. So the new ones have little rubber fittings on it. You don't necessarily need to reinforce it, but I reinforce these because this is one of the very early ones. So I'm going to put those 2 aside so that I don't get confused with my ends. Okay, and then I'm just going to start by simply putting it together, just like so. Okay, and then I have here just electrical tape, and I'm going to use that to reinforce those connectors. So you can also see here that I've already, we've already packed some garland. Because of the pattern that we're going to use, we've done them into sets of 6. So I don't know if you want to, if you can just swing over there real quick and show that. Okay, so I'm just taking a little piece of electrical tape here, cutting it off, and now you always want to go on a diagonal, right? It's more secure than just going around and around straight. And the thing about the electrical tape, of course, is that you want to stretch it as you go. So there's where the connector is, and I'm going up higher than it, and then I'm kind of like stretching and twirling it in like this. So then I'm going to go past it, and then I'm going to kind of back up and go back over that connector again, like so. Okay? So you probably can't see that, but that's how we're going to do all of them. I'm actually going to put the other end on, the end that goes into the base. All right, so again, starting above the connection, twirling into it, pulling as I go, also pushing those poles together, and like really just putting it on thick, so to speak, right? And this piece I'm actually going to add just a little bit more. I think it's probably fine, but I'd always rather have more than not enough. And I'm sorry for all the background noise, but that's what you get when we do non-studio, real-world videos, isn't it? Okay, so this is going to make it a little bit harder when we strike, but it's super secure now. So, okay, now I'm just going to kind of push that down the other way. Unfortunately, the other day I had to do an arch that was for multiple days, so I did do it out of PVC, but we did not have enough time in the venue to be able to make a video. So I will try to make another video of the whole process, start to finish, with the PVC arch. But today we're using the arrow pole. But again, just know that what we're doing with the arrow pole, you can do it with the PVC homemade arch as well. And if you are doing this professionally, I do recommend getting an arrow pole. You'll find that it's one of your favorite tools. Now, why am I going so far beyond the connection point? And this one too, I'm going to put a second piece of tape on. The reason is because if there's any stretch from the, moving around in the wind, we want it to be really good and secure and not like slide out if it gets, if it heats up and it melts or whatever. We want to give it its very best chance at being successful. And you see these little blue lines, these are just marking the centers of the poles. The tape which that center one will come in useful today because of the design we're doing. So instead of approximating, if you take the pole that has 2 females and you make a mark in the center right to begin with, you will never have a problem finding your center no matter what. And let's be honest, it's a lot easier to measure 2.5 feet than 12.5. All right, so now I've got these 260 pieces. I'm gonna put them in my pocket because we'll be needing them later. So we're not making a jukebox, but the feel that I want is kind of jukeboxy. So that's how we've kind of done the color scheme, is to just kind of have that feel. So here, it's my center right there. And the top part I want pink. And so basically, I'm just going to take this first cluster. Now normally I would start at the end and work my way in, but since this is a design that is kind of like from the top down, so you see I'm just pushing it on. I haven't tied it yet. And here, let me move this one so you can see better. And I really want to get that right up to that line there. Just like that. Okay, and now I'm gonna twist a couple of clusters. Usually I'll, oops, hey, happy birthday. All right, pink balloon down. It's okay, we'll replace that later. All right.
Right here.
It's a little challenge to keep it on the stage. And these balloons are inflated to about 8 inches. If you're using a Precision Air, my setting is 1.0. And you always want to make sure that if you're twisting them or tying them, that you're actually getting the pole caught in the middle. Because sometimes I twist them around and around and around, and I'm not even on the pole. And that just, you know, that sucks. Okay. And now we're going to do our blue chunks. Okay, so now we're starting to, this is going to be the top of the curve, and then we're going to start to come down the sides. So we're basically just going to mirror on each side every step.
So this entire road is straight down.
See, I'm just like swishing it in, no reason to be gentle. They're balloons. They should work for you, not the other way around. And you notice that my balloons are good and squishy, right? They're inflated to about 8 inches. That is the key. You do not want to inflate them to a full 11 inches. You will be popping them all over the place. And that's where we have the broken one. So you just have to remember that it's broken so that it kind of fits together, and you get it cinched up enough. God, I love these colors. This color combination just makes me so happy. And you see I've got these little pieces hanging off from doing my garland. I just cut those off, and then I'm going to cut this in half, and we'll use this to tie things later. Just like that. All right, so let's talk about how we repair this piece right here. So we're just gonna take this balloon, and if you see, can you get in here? I'm like holding the pop balloon by the leftovers, and I'm just gonna wrap it around once, twice, and then I'm basically using the nozzle and the leftover balloon to tie onto, just like so, and then to make it tight, I'll just wrap it around another balloon here, like that. Okay, so repair made. All right, moving on. Moving on. Chrome silver. Oh my God, I love this color. God, I love the colors of this arch. And then we're gonna put Mylar balloons on it to, you know, carry that theme. My balloons wanna run away. It's windy, we're outside in a tent. Sun's coming out now though, so that's, hey, pop, what do we pop?
Other end.
All right, so that right there, that may be an odd man out.
All right, and mirror it on the other side. I heard it pop, but I don't see it.
It's a blue on this side.
It's
I see
a blue
it.
on that side, okay. Another reason to have those balloons good and underinflated. You never know what surface you're going to be putting them up on. If you're really worried, you could set up the arch frame first and then attach the balloons. Sometimes we do that, especially if we have certain patterns that that roll when you put the arch together. But this pattern, since we're dealing with basically solid colors, we're okay. Thanks. You guys said you like these real world videos, so here you go. This is real life here. Okay, and then you see that's kind of loose. I'm gonna move it around with this one. Now this is actually where it's going around the pole, so I'm gonna move it around there. There, now, all better. All right, you wanna toss me those black ones? All right, and we knew these ones would probably be shortening a bit, but we didn't know by how much, so we will find out. Yep. I think just one quad on either side. I think we got. I think we're good with like this. And so this one, especially since it's on the edge, we really kind of want to squish it up and make sure we have a little bit of pull there sticking out. And then of course we'll do that front one. And then hopefully it's going to be the same on the other side. Now, if I've packed it consistently, it should be. I would like to say it always is. Sometimes you just get surprises. Why do I have such a long piece of 260 hanging off the edge of my balloons? And that is because I use two 260s to pack the garland, even though I don't need that much, because it gives me the slack to wrap around my hand and keep on going. Check out, again, the How to Make a Balloon Column with No Frame video, and you will see exactly how to do that. So hopefully I can get this in, and we're dealing with wet here as well. Hey, that's always a good way to do it. And of course I couldn't pop it in one cluster, so I could just replace it. Oh, no, no, no. I have to replace one out of two different clusters. Now, all of the Mylars we're going to add once we put the arch on, and that's because of that rolling issue that I was telling you about. You want to make sure that they're all on the front-facing side. Well, I guess I can just take those two. Sometimes that very last quad can be a little bit grouchy. Again, remember, the balloons work for you, you don't work for them. Make them do what you want. That up. Okay, so here we have our 25-foot arch all laid out. We're gonna have to close the video for a second, go lay out the base plates, and then I'll have to get somebody to help me hold it so that we can keep on filming, because you guys were asking how to actually put it on the base plates, and that's the part that I've never shown you because I always need the camera person to hold the balloons. But we're gonna do it today, I hope. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so now we are gonna go get the arch and place it on the base plates. Oh, actually, let's just get a real quick shot of the base plates. Here we go. So you see this is the Aeropole base plate. Again, if you're making your own, if you're using a 3/4 inch PVC and 1/2 inch EMT, then you could just slide it over the same way we're about to do. All right. Wait, before you put those, wait. We're gonna bring the arch right straight through here. Okay. Thanks. I just don't want to knock them all down with the arch.
Oh no, I'll move you.
All right, you ready? Yeah. All right. So we're just putting our hand in, we're just grabbing it straight from the pole, and we want to keep it as straight as we can while we're marching it out. We're gonna try to make it as straight as we can to go onto the pin. So you see she's gonna, just bring it into me a little bit. She's gonna hold it so that I'm going straight down. And you see we're just gonna, I'm just kind of feeling for the pin. I'm gonna get that top right there on the pin and then just slide it straight down. The important part is that you slide straight down. Yeah, I gotta bring this in just a little bit more. Again, the important thing is that you are going straight down. Feel for that piece in there and go straight down. If it's not going on, it means that you don't have it straight. You've got a little bit of a bend or an angle and you need to fix that. Okay, so here we go, the whole arch. You can see it kind of has that feel of a jukebox, and that's exactly what we're going for here. Now we're gonna spread it out wide, and we're gonna put the Mylar balloons on it, and I will show you that in just a minute. And we're back to our arch. Okay, so now you can see that we spread it wide, and that is because I'm short. Actually, Amity's gonna be placing the balloons, because that way I can stand back and art direct while I video. But basically, you know, you want to be able to reach it. You don't have to stand on a ladder. So we spread it wide. We pretty much know where our center is. We've got these Mylar balloons here. Now you can see that we have them sitting here in the sun. And that's because if they're gonna go down, I want them to go down on my watch before we get them onto the arch. The other thing is we inflated them standing in the sun for the same reason. You want to make sure that you're not going to have a huge temperature difference from when you inflate it to where they're going to be, right? So especially here in San Diego, we can have 30, 40 degree temperature differences from morning to afternoon. So we want to make sure that that we do it so that, you know, when we brought it inside the tent there, they significantly went down. So if we had inflated them in the tent to begin with, they would all be popping. And in fact, we've already lost a couple of our records here. So that's why right now I'm just having it sit in the sun, letting it warm up a little bit, and then we're gonna start placing it in just a second. Boom shakalaka. That's it. So now Amity has the sticky tabs in her pocket so that they will stay warm, so that they will adhere. And you see that she's, rather than just placing it on the balloon and having it prepped that way, she's seeing where the balloon and the other balloon, where the Mylar and the arch actually connect, and that's where she's placing the sticky tab. And I would put a couple of extra, like,
I absolutely will.
Yeah.
On the top too.
exactly. And these Mylars are air filled, which you probably already guessed by the fact that they're not floating out of the bag. Oh yeah, I like that. Looks like it's driving right off of it. It's awesome. So I don't know why all the Mylar balloons that are out for 50s right now are in like this red color scheme instead of the traditional pink, turquoise, silver, black. They just are. Somebody decided they didn't like the traditional colors. I like the traditional colors better. But it's all right, it works. Yeah, that's good. That looks pretty solid. All right, and now we're doing our guitar. So you see Amity's gonna tape down the tail there. We'll get in there and see what she's doing. Then you gotta hold it for a second, like, okay guys, connect. So you can see now we moved it back so it's the full height. And now Amity is going to place the jukeboxes on the chrome silver. And we need to replace that black one that popped right there. Okay, so here we go. Our 50s themed arch is all done. So you see that we've got the color blocks. And then we've got some different Mylars to carry the theme behind the colors. And now we put it back in place. We covered up our base plates with some plastic, and we are ready to rock and roll. So if you liked this video, make sure that you smash the like button. Make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know what else do you want to learn. Give me some love. Tell me that you just enjoyed it, that you like these in the field videos. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Tell everyone you know to subscribe. Buy my books on Amazon. This will probably be in the next book. And until next time, go forth and balloonify!